Hi, Lynn. Great to have you here. We're in the Lux cohort and taking virtual classes, and a lot of us are not from the Bay Area. I have moved so many times in my life. How about you?
Yeah,
Live
I
with
moved a
myself.
lot in college.
You too.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I understand that. It's just I had a lot of moves before I moved in with my husband. So, and then even when we were together, we just moved a lot until we moved to Seattle. Yeah, so we lived in the Bay Area for 12-ish years, or I did, I should say. He came like maybe 4 years. So he was there like 8 years. And he's from Sacramento, and so we were thinking of moving back to Sacramento because it was cheaper to live. But what we ended up doing is I'm from Fresno, so we moved to Fresno because it was even cheaper than Sacramento when my son was little. And then I needed to find a job, and so at the time we were like wanting to leave California, so we decided to look elsewhere. So I found a job in Seattle, and that's why we moved here. And then now we love it, and we never want to leave. So.
Oh. So compared to Seattle and North Cal, like what's the reason why you like Seattle better?
Well, we have a really great neighborhood, so I think that's helpful. So our neighbors are really awesome. I think so. We like to ski and snowboard, and so there's a place really close by that we can go. I think it's just kind of a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe slower pace of life, maybe a little bit, but not really that much because it's still a city. But I don't know. The weather doesn't bother me. Like that's what a lot of people worry about, but it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, the summer is the best I've ever had anywhere. It's usually like 70 to 80 degrees, and like, yeah. So it does get, in the fall, it's like proper fall. So you get a little bit of crispness and the leaves turn, and then it starts raining. And in the winter, it's like proper winter. So some days are clear but really cold, and other days it snows. Not that much though. And other days it's just cloudy. And then the spring, I don't care for, because the spring, although this last spring was great, but some springs can be like, it'll stay cold and cloudy until like.
Could you tell us a little more about what you do, and probably more in details, and probably your short-term and long-term goals?
Yeah. So I am a UX program manager at Google. And what that means is essentially I'm responsible for programs and operations across Google Cloud. So one area is looking into, the importance of UX and getting our org up and running, and looking at efficiencies and scalability across the org. There's another aspect that's cross-functional, so understanding our team's planning cycles and making sure that our team isn't over capacity, and working cross-functionally with our engineering and product managers to essentially help our team more accurately plan across our planning cycles. There's also an aspect of helping provide awareness of UX design across Google, and especially Google Cloud, making sure that folks across Google Cloud understand the importance of what UX designers and researchers do. So we have software interaction designers. So they design, to simplify it, the button should go here, and when you click it, it should go here. Or on a mobile device, it's, all of the little bits that you interact with to go from, one page to another, or one part of an app to another, things like that. And then our researchers do a lot of customer research in terms of, how our product is performing, or what we might be missing. There's probably a lot more to it than that, but I'm oversimplifying all of it. I work really closely with that's what I meant by UX designers, is UI designers. Sometimes there will be overlap between what we call a visual designer, and they design how things look, so what the buttons look like, and the UI designer will design the actual interaction and between, the button is here and it clicks here, and then it clicks and it goes over here. And then sometimes I call them unicorns. You get a visual and an interaction designer, and they can do both. So some people like to specialize and other people like to do both. I call them the unicorns.
So that makes me a little bit curious about your days. So I know what you're working on, but like how is your day looks like?
It kind of depends on the day. So my Mondays, I usually have a significant period of like what I call focus time, that I block my calendar and I get stuff done. But that has a couple meetings interspersed with it. But I try to only have meetings like for a purpose, as opposed to just having meetings to have meetings. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are usually pretty full of, I work on 3 or 4 different teams now. So I have a lot of like one-on-ones with people, and I have a lot of team meetings on those days. And Fridays I have no meetings. So I usually reserve Fridays to get work done again. But one thing that I do is I wake up at pretty early, like 5. And so I have focus time every day from like 5 to 7, where I can do like independent work. And sometimes I do schoolwork. And other days I do work. And I take my laptop and we have a treadmill, and I go down to my treadmill and I do my work while I walk very slowly on my treadmill.
And is there anything very unique experience that you want to share with us?
Earlier, like I'm a bit introverted, and so I think part of that is because when I was a kid, I was picked on a lot because I am small, or I was small, and I had red hair, and I was just like different from everybody else. I was the only kid in the class that had, red hair and wasn't tan. I also have 2 brothers, so my brothers are a good way for me to figure out, like they didn't pick on me, but they definitely like to try to, I guess they did pick on me, even though they're both younger. So I think they've kind of shaped my personality in a way that I know how to kind of fend for myself. And my mom always, would basically say like to me something to the effect of something like give me compliments all the time on who I am and who I'm growing into, and how she's proud of me, and my dad too. And so I think that gave me like a good sense of self, and so I learned not to let like outsiders' opinions bother me so much, if that makes sense. And so it's not really one memory, but it's just sort of a lot of them that kind of shaped like I really don't care what other people think. I mean, I don't want them to think poorly of me, but if it's something that's, like not anything that I did, I just have learned to kind of roll with the punches, and it's sort of helped me be a pretty like relaxed and chill person because I don't get really like wound up about things.
So I guess sporting is a very positive thing in your life. Like you don't have to think what bothered you.
Yeah, it's very much a stress relief for me.
What do you do in your spare time? I remember you said you like planting.
Yeah, so I think I have like 70 plants in my house. I have a lot of plants. And then I propagate them, which means I make, like, once they're ready, I can cut them off and then I make more plants. So my husband's ready to for me to stop doing that. But it's just so fun. I like watching them grow. And so in the winter, I snowboard a lot. And so we'll go snowboarding up, it's about an hour and a half from our house. It's called Crystal Mountain up here in Seattle. So we pretty much go every weekend. And I don't know how that's going to work with school, actually, but we'll see. And then I do a lot of weightlifting too, like when we're working out. I do that like 4 days a week. I have 3 dogs.
3 dogs.
Yeah.
And 2 kids?
2 kids. Mm-hmm.
2 kids. And a husband.
And a husband. Yeah, who's like a child.
Oh my god. It's so hard to manage, and you have 70 plants.
My life has had to become very organized.
Like we do our nails. You always have really beautiful nails.
I just got mine done on Friday.
Like
They called it Amazon green. I don't know if you can see that. I used to do the fake nails myself when I was during COVID. I got really into it, and I had all these really cool ones. But I've gone to the same gal forever, so I just went back after they were opened back up. But she could do some fancy designs too, but I just usually get them plain because I don't want to sit too long at the place because it takes a long time.
Lynne has a very colorful life with her own hobbies and a happy family. I admire her life management ability so much, with a successful career and a healthy life. And I am honored to be a group mate with her. I also appreciate her sharing today. I hope everyone enjoyed this sharing.